What is up, everybody? Alex106 here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the Mystic Circuits 3D VCA. This is quickly becoming one of my favorite new modules. And not only do you get a pair of these sweet glasses that help you see things in a new way, you also get this awesome VCA or eurorack module, we should just call it, that helps you hear things in a new way. So what is the 3D VCA? This thing wears a lot of hats. It can be a mixer. It can just be like a 4-channel to 1 mixer. It can be a dual stereo channel mixer. It can be a mono VCA, stereo VCA. It is a 4-channel to 1 as well unity gain mixer. So you've got these unity gain inputs here. You can also do 2 channels of stereo right there. Tons of awesome features, but what we're going to talk about mostly is the panning feature in today's video. So this thing is pretty cool. You can see we've got the heads up display style thing here. This is what he calls the compass. And so you can see if we go turn Y here, we go into the top inputs or the top outputs. We're just moving through to the bottom. And now we can pan right or left. So we can basically select, and if we've got one thing in, we can select what output it's going to go to. So if we've got one signal here on the input, we can select which output it's going to go to, or all of them. We can do that with the stereo as well. We can also just take 4 inputs and then mix out to 1 or 1 stereo source and select which one you're going to hear, basically. Very versatile. And in this patch, what I'm going to do is I'm going to simulate quad, because what I always wanted to do as soon as I heard about this was a quad patch, and I don't have for speakers. I don't have a quad setup, and I don't expect you to have one at home either for this video. So what we're going to do is we're going to simulate that using 2 filters and the 3D VCA. So instead of going in front of us and behind us, we're going to go in front of us, but we're going to go low and high. So our goal is to try and make a circle. And how we're going to do that is by high passing the outputs that are on the bottom or the south side. So these south inputs, as he would say, as Mystic Circuits would say. And then we're going to high pass the ones coming out of the top. And so what this is going to do is in our perception, those low pass signals are going to feel like they're lower in the spectral space, I guess. And then up here, the dimensional space. And then the high pass ones are going to sound like they're higher. So that's the goal. We're going to make a cool ambient drone patch and see how it goes. So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to plug in our stereo source here. And actually, I want to use a longer cable because I want to come out of the bottom of the assimilator, so that way I can use its own internal mixer to get multiple sounds that come out of here. Looks like I picked up a hair with that cable. That's hilarious. Also disgusting. Okay, there we go. So we're going to go out of the top outputs. And these are going to be left and right outputs. And this is the north, west, and northeast outputs, as they would say. So we're just going to go out of here into this first Overseer. And we're going to go right into the right input. And then we're going to take the outputs of this one, and we're just going to run it into the second 3D VCA I have down here. So the right's going to go on the top input there. The bottom is going to go on to the left input here of the top. And then we just need to make another loop here. So we're just going to go out of the bottom. We're going to go into this Overseer. And we'll wrap around there. And then we're going to take this guy and we're going to run it into the bottom outputs here. Bottom inputs, excuse me. And so we could use the unity gain mixer here on this one, but I want to have this fader as a basically like a master level. We can use this one for that, but we're also going to CV this one. So we're just going to leave that alone. So to explain what we've got going on right now, we're just going to listen to a loop. And now we can hear with this is the overall level. And then we can pan to the left. Or this is to the bottom. We can go to the right, and that's going to be the top. And then we can pan to the left, pan to the right. So what we're hearing right now is we're using this secondary 3D VCA in order to mix these post the filters. But from now on, we're just going to use the top one because this is the send. So this is the first one. We're just using this one right now to have this volume knob. So again, if I go just to the top, we're just hearing this overseer. So we're going to high pass this one. And then we're going to go to the bottom. And we're going to low pass this guy. So now this is just this overseer, right? So now we can manually go in a circle by saying go to the right, go up, go to the left, down. And so to get a perfect circle like this, the best thing to use would be a sequencer that's basically doing exactly what my hands are doing right now, right? But I don't have a sequencer in this case, and I don't know how much I really want it to do exactly this, but I want to try and get our perception to perceive this as kind of like it's going around in a circle in front of us. Again, it's not going to go behind us because we don't have speakers behind us, but around is the next best thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a LFO from the phase displacement oscillator. I'm just going very slow on that, and I'm going to run that into the X input. And you'll hear we are now going left and right. You can see on the compass, we're just going both channels up and down, north and south, going left and right. And now on this next one, we're going to, this is this phase control, so we're going to put that on 0, and we're just going to listen to that in Y. And now it's kind of going up and down, kind of in a Z almost. So let's start changing the phase of this second LFO. That's pretty much it. So the only real difference between this and what I was doing with my hands is that when the LFOs cross, we're getting full on. So there are points where both of these are on, so we're hearing it in the center rather than just going around in a circle. But I'm still perceiving it as kind of going up and around. So we can really emphasize this. There we go with the filters, just really emphasize the filtering. And now we're going to add some more things in the assimilator here, some more loops. So here's a second loop. And then here's going to be some bass tone. So we're really only hearing that when it goes down to that low section. It's completely high passed out. If I take this high pass down just a little bit, we can hear it the whole time. But if we high pass it out, it pretty much just disappears, and now it's only in that swoop. So now we can speed this up, obviously, all the way up in audio range. Where we get a pretty unique audio rate modulation, ring mod, sort of AM kind of thing there. And so now what we're going to do is we're just going to add this level control. We're going to do that from another LFO. So I'm going to use the mod box here. I'm just going to use a skewable LFO. We're going to run that into Z. We've got it turned down now. So that way we're going to get the full range of that fader. Let's put it on like more of like a square wave or a saw wave kind of thing. And if we turn up the fader here, we're kind of adding, right now we're only going to be ducking when the waveform is in the negative voltage range, whereas over here it's just like full on tremolo. So then you can just kind of mix these going fast. I'm gonna add this weird vocal in here. Slow it down or turn it down a little bit. It's a little loud. Now all we need to do to this is add some delay, and we've got a pretty cool start to a ambient performance. And so if we want it to sound less circly, we can turn these filters up, and now we're just kind of going left to right. We can switch which one was high, which one was low. So the circle is kind of going in the opposite direction now. It's crazy to switch them. There's some more resonance. There's your AM on the top of that. So that's it. That's my favorite patch on the 3D VCA so far. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you all next time. Much love. Peace.